Hello, this is my week 5 discussion on belonging, DEI, and organizational ethics. The question that I chose to answer from Karen Taylor's video was the first one. Taylor introduces the PEACE framework: psychological safety, empathy, acceptance, connection, and embraced. Which element resonates most with you and why? The element, a part of peace that resonates most with me is probably the connection aspect. Um, in order for, uh, I think, psychological safety, empathy, acceptance, and embrace to work, you have to have, first and foremost, connection, and a genuine connection. Both Karen Taylor and Kristen Pressner Lindor spoke about authenticity, and that authenticity is very important when um, interacting with policies that regard or that refer to DEI and belonging as well. That you have to be authentic and genuine, and and then from there, you can start to understand. You have empathy. You feel what maybe somebody else is going through, and then through that you can have psychological safety, because then you have a genuine connection with that person. So yeah, second part of the question: how might it translate into IO initiatives or everyday business practices? Um, just like I said, if you practice connection in every aspect of your life, with even with yourself, I kind of chuckle right there, but I think that's first and foremost. If you can truly connect with yourself and be straight with yourself and authentic with yourself, then that emanates outward, and that allows you to be authentic with others and to connect. And then through that connection, you'll have better business practices by being honest and acting ethical when ethical dilemmas occur, where you need to do the right thing, and those are noticed. Those are highly noticed, and they also are something that your own behavior starts to, um, how can I put this, mirror. So if or somebody else's behavior might start to mirror. That's another one of these questions. However, we'll keep it to this one: that if you start to act the right way in business situations and connect and act ethical, then others might start to mirror that behavior. The second question, from Kristen Pressner Lindor's video I chose to answer, was Lindor stresses being willing to hear uncomfortable truths and criticism. What mechanisms could IO professionals or leaders use to capture and respond to dissenting voices? Kind of what I was already harping on, and what they both had discussed as well. When you're authentic with yourself and come from a growth mindset. That was something that Lindor had spoke about, that allows you to accept criticism, and you accept uncomfortable truths, because you know that they can be changed, and you know that it's not something fixed, but it's something that is a work in progress, and we are all work in progresses, and we can all be better. So that is what I would say for that. The second part is: how do you ethically navigate the discomfort or conflicts that might result? Um, I think that's where the peace framework comes into play, and how these two videos meet in the middle, where when you're trying to navigate those discomforting situations or conflicts, if you come with a sense of psychological safety, empathy, acceptance, connection, and embraced, which underlies belonging, then you can understand that we are all human, and that we make mistakes, and that if you act in a way that is inviting and you are respectful, then other people will understand that, and they'll want to work through that conflict in a more constructive manner, I feel, instead of coming from a place of abrasiveness and conflict, controversy or conflict. Then people, that's honestly a law of force where, every reaction has an equal but opposite reaction. If you're coming from a place of aggressiveness and abrasiveness when going through a conflict, then people are going to just act the same way. And unless you act in a respectful manner and calm and collected, then people will notice that and work through a conflict much easier. So that's my video.